And we're back with a new series of Let's Play. Now, I haven't done one of these in a while, so I'm kind of excited to come back and revisit this series again, because I've done the first two games of the series, and now we're breaking new ground and going into the third game of the series. For some reason, I just put it off for a long time. I think it's because this series is notorious for being very long, and each game being very long. And this being the longest of all of the games in the series, and probably argued to be the hardest and most interesting and fun, Wild Arms 3. That's right, I'm your host, the RPG Guy, and we're going to be diving into Wild Arms 3, the myth, the legend, the awesome. Easily the most beloved of the Wild Arms series. This series pretty much was the zenith of non-Final Fantasy mainstream RPG-ness, and Wild Arms 3 became a big contender in the JRPGs franchise and was one of probably Mediavision's best works. Give or take. People feel differently about that, but I still think this is one of their greats. So great that Wild Arms, it funded pretty much the making of Wild Arms Alter Code F and amongst other things, but eventually this would be the last game fully made by Media Media Arts or whatever, and it's one of my favorite PlayStation 2 JRPGs. I even like it over Dragon Warrior 8, and I know I get dirty looks for saying that, or Dragon Quest 8 rather, but you know. Haters gonna hate, you know? No, I'm just kidding. It just wasn't really my favorite. But this game I loved. When it came out, I was the only guy at the store who bought it at the local Best Buy when it first came out. And to this day, it's still one of the most beloved Wild Arms games. And I highly recommend it for the hardcore JRPG gamer and all of that stuff. And this is a genre I wish would come back. I wish they would make a Wild Arms 6 and go back to this format, because this was one of the best formats. So yeah, we're going to go on this adventure. It's going to be cool. It's going to be awesome. And I know you guys are going to love it. So hold on to your butts, and if you're sexy, hold on to mine. Let's go ahead and get started with some Wild Arms 3. Western JRPG action. Oh, I can't wait. Start new game. Here we go. I don't want to ramble too much because it's gonna go on forever. And yes, I'm gonna talk during the anime scenes when they become relevant, because it's all music and visuals. It was a dark and stormy night. Gotta pretend like these people have voices, you know. And in that darkness, Rick James came out from the shadows. He stole my wallet, said he needed to get that delicious crack cocaine. But nothing could have prepared me for what happened that night on that train. So many days ago. Okay, I'll stop. The darkness. Oh my god, this porno is awful. So tiring. They said trains were supposed to be fun. Well, actually, they said trains were supposed to be fun. There we go. We'll go with that. Ooh! Have a good trip. We'll see you next fall. I've got dad jokes. Attention all passengers. We are currently decelerating from... Oh, God damn it. I hate these auto texts. Don't worry, it doesn't happen very often. Auto text boxes. Oh. But when it happens, it's a little frustrating because you're trying to read. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, ouch! I'm terribly sorry. Are you all right? I was in a rush and, can you tell me what's going on? I'm not sure. I'm making the rounds to see what I can find out. Yeah. Until then, please return to your cabin and remain seated. Hey, you can't go through there. See, I'm not touching the button. I'm telling you, I'm not touching the button. I don't know why this is happening, because it doesn't happen as much later in the game, but I assure you, I'm sure you guys are hopefully reading along for some of this. Miss, please, this car is off limits. That's because there's something important in there, right? That is correct. Why would you tell her that? And that is precisely the reason why that car is off limits. Then if there's something were to happen, there's a good possibility it might happen in there, right? And then I missed the rest. No, this can't be happening. That's impossible. I'm sure in Japanese it'd be faster for a Japanese person to read it. The fact of the matter is, I have the key to the car in my hand, see? Well, if that's true, then you have the key. Then it's also true that the door's already open. I say we take a look inside. We might find more behind the truth. Can't keep up. Open says me. Thank goodness, everything seems to be in order, but let me check the crates, just in case. All the windows are boarded up. You sure are taking precautions. What exactly is in there, anyway? Gordon Ramsay's +5 powerful... +5... What would it be? +5 bludgeoning frying pan of doom. Wow. What are all these lights? Oh, look out! America! Everybody's got a gun! So we get to choose a character here. Now, this is not like... This is the only character you get to use, but they all have a story to tell. And you can do these in really any order you want. But I'm going to make a strategy suggestion. Though the difficulty for this character here is considered the easiest, it's not necessarily considered the best one to do first. Primarily because you are kind of left to your own devices, in a sense. Not in a bad way or anything, but what I mean by that is that it's easier for you personally to start with a different character. So you really could go with this guy or this guy. So we're going to start with the boy who broke in. Well, do I want to start with the boy who broke in? You know what? Forget it. We're going to go hardcore. We're going to go with the hardest one first. A drifter guardsman. And we'll leave his name as his real name, Clive. Well, how to do? Let's get to it, shall we? 9 days before that fateful encounter. Clive Winslet, age 30. He is about to embark on a mission considered most deadly of all drifters' trades, eradicating a monster. Murder! These drifters are accustomed to risking their lives to face danger. They do it for the reward and to satisfy their spirit. One cannot deny that in the eyes of many of these drifters are just the ruffians driven by greed. Could this man do nothing more than a ruffian as well? Or perhaps... I might have misread that one of those. It goes by so fast. I want to read it for you guys, in case some of you are doing other things. This is an assignment I alone have to accept. I shall take it from here. Yeah, now I'm in control. Listen, Clive. I know you have quite a reputation as a drifter, but this is your first time in these here caverns. I'm sure you'll need me as your guide. And you've heard of the buddy system, right? They always say 2 heads are better than 1. I can help you. Yes, I appreciate your concern. But my mission is to exterminate the keeper of these here caverns and to protect the residents of the village. I believe that was the deal. Yes, but what does that have to do with me? In other words, you are one of the residents that I must protect. And as you mentioned, this is indeed my first time venturing in these here caverns. As a result, I would not be able to ensure your safety if you accompany me. Please, there's no need to worry. I shall complete my assignment and return promptly to accept my bounty. He seems confident enough, But going in there all alone, doesn't he realize this cavern is called the place where I poo? Den of miasma. Yeah, I'm gonna just go with miasma. Clive, I can't let you go in there without at least doing what I can. This hero berry has the ability to restore HP. It's quite precious, but you're the one who needs it now. And so we get a hero berry. That's pretty much the potions of this game. We can run, as you can see here. We can drop bombs. And many Wild Arms games, the best Wild Arms games, are known for their puzzles that you have to negotiate in order to get through. Let's keep moving here. And I need to rotate the camera because I think I missed something. Yeah, we can rotate the camera. Did I miss something? No, I didn't. It's faith. Let's keep moving, and we get ourselves another delicious hillberry. Sometimes an exclamation point will suddenly appear over your head. This indicates that the enemy is approaching. Quickly press the circle button to avoid enemies encounters. I'll explain this. It has to do with our migrant level. So the migrant level is that little bar that says ECN in the upper left corner, and we had a 10 out of 10, and our migrant level is level 1. What this means, which is very important, is that we can actually avoid random encounters sometimes. And sometimes it's beneficial, sometimes it's not. Avoiding all encounters is obviously bad because you don't get the levels you need in order to survive and live. I want to live! But what it means is that you can avoid unnecessary battles as you use it. You can recover the encounter bar, I believe, by battling and by finding special crystals in the overworld. Now, with that said, it's useful to build your encounter level up to some degree. I'll talk about it more as it becomes more relevant, but right now it's not that important to know the bigger details of the system. But it's actually pretty good. It's a pretty cool system that they implemented, and as we find more migrant seals within the game, we will be able to, in a sense, do more with the overworld fighting the random encounters and all that other stuff. And I'll explain some of the other mechanics actually in the next battle, because I forgot to. Don't worry, we're not hurt. Nothing bad, we just go back to the entrance. As I pick another fight here. I don't want to bore you guys with too many fights, so we'll just do one more. So we have what's called HP and FP. FP is pretty much the closest thing to mana in this game, or MP. You build it up as you take damage and as you dish damage out, and as the game continues, there's going to be other ways for us to get FP automatically, and it's usually equivalent to the level that you start at. Now, we're out of bullets, I'll explain that too. We have no mediums, don't worry about what that is, and we have force abilities that as we get more FP, we'll be able to do them. Don't worry about this now, there's not much to say. Now, we're out of ammunition. As you can see, we have 0 of 2. We start every battle with 2 rounds. Let's go ahead and defend, because that'll allow us to reload. Melee attacks in this game are what you do when you run out of bullets. Melee attacks are not that powerful unless certain parameters are met, and it's not a big deal. Your vitality gauge is actually what heals you after a battle. So we technically have 153 HP in battle, plus an additional 100 HP right now in this case. Not technically, but 100 vitality to recover our HP after battle. It's hard to explain that mechanic beyond what I've pretty much just pointed out, but that's pretty much what it is. Hopefully that makes sense to you guys. I know. Oop! As I got hit by a trap. It's a trap! Traps, you cannot heal with vitality, so don't bother. So make sure that you are not doing that. Revive Fruit, very important item. Revive Fruit is your friend. Let's go back in here. And then we'll go ahead and head north. Of course, his bombs can blow up rocks. Don't worry, you can't damage yourself by using your bombs, so it's not something you need to necessarily worry about as I fall off another ledge. You can't take me anywhere as we get thrown into another battle. You know, for the prologue stuff, I might show most of the battles. We'll see how I feel about that. As you can see, again, vitality is decreasing. Let's keep moving here. In we go. Let's see. work our way around more traps. And then these will replenish, orange gems replenish the vitality gauge, white gauge, yeah, encounter. So white gems like this do nothing but really replenish the vitality gauge, or I'm sorry, the encounter gauge. So unless you've been dodging battles, you don't need to really pick them up. You can pick them up for fun if you want, but there's not necessarily a direct benefit for doing so. Now, I believe we were down this way earlier, but in order to, I believe, yes. So we'll get this delicious chest, which is a Gimmel coin. Gimmel coins allow you to save the game anywhere you please. They also allow you to start a battle over from the beginning if you are defeated. Coins are hard to come by, but very handy for managing your... Okay. Gimmel coins... That explanation of what Gimmel coins are is very, very misleading. And I don't mean that in like a negative way. It's just slightly misleading. Gimmel coins have other purposes later in the game, so we're going to try to stockpile them to some degree here. Well, that's one way to get through it. Let's go ahead and head through here. This miasma, I can sense the Keeper. It's not too far now to the throne where the Keeper awaits. I missed something, I think. Let's go back for a second. I know there's more chests than this. My question is, where did I miss it? Ah, yeah, I see it right here. Game thought it was an idioso. Thought it was dumb. Okay, you'll see this device here. Like in many Wild Arms games, you may know what those are. I won't ruin it for those of you who are not familiar with the series. But let's just say it's full of concentrated evil, and it's endgame, it's post-game or endgame related. Not necessarily post-game, but it's like, it's endgame related. So I wouldn't really worry too much about it. Alright, let's go ahead and pick fight. I'll show melee attack as well. Just so you guys can see the difference in performance. Nice. Now, we could use lock-on, but we don't really have any bullets, so it's kind of a waste. I'm not going to bother. So you can see the melee combat does a lot less damage. It's not as good. Not recommended for good chunks of the game. It's not recommended to rely on your melee combat. But we lucked out, and it ate up some of our vitality as well. Alright, let's keep moving. I believe that's the last chest in the area. The last two chests. Huh? So my retreat has been blocked off. I take it guests are not very welcome here. I must confront the Keeper and inquire about the way out. Might have a different voice for him later. We'll see. Well, that's the stuff of nightmares. Oh god, it's got bad breath. Alright. It looks much bigger and more agile than I expected, and it assumes such a cautious stance. I mustn't let this one escape. I won't get another chance if I let it fly off. As long as I have accepted this assignment, I will carry it out with grace. I shall get rid of you at once. Alright, so boss fight. Let's get to it. Ow, he hit me. Ooh. Nice hit there, friend. Now, this is a semi-scripted fight, and you'll see why. Ow, he hit me again. With your evasive maneuvers, it may be easy for you to evade my shots, but I will not just stand here and allow that to happen. Clive can use a force ability. Well, you've talked about this. So we're going to have to use a force ability to kill him, which is fine. We don't have the FP of 25 yet, so we're still waiting on getting there. We're not quite there yet. And we need to finish this fight as soon as possible. So we'll shoot him again, and that'll give us the force level we need. No, you cannot preempt using FP abilities, but... And then that's auto. This is, you know... system stuff. This is only available through certain means, so don't worry about it. Alright, let's do it. Lock on. Let's say it together, everybody. 1, 2, 3. Murder! I possess the ability to track my prey's tail. I can foresee its slightest movement. Oh man, it stinks! How could I be so careless? I could have easily prepared if only I'd predicted the source of this miasma to be the monster. No, stop! Ugh. And that's it. There's our playthrough of Wild Arms 3. I want to thank you guys for stopping. I'm just kidding. And we get a delicious potion berry. You'll notice the XP bonus rate, or the XP experience bonus rate. Don't worry about that right now. It'll make more sense later. And at least we leveled and we got some delicious healing. I failed. I always seem to fall short at a crucial moment. Always. One of these days How long have I been out? It doesn't seem to be too long, but toxic matter has entered my system. The effects do not appear to be too serious yet, but the more I move, the more it will eat away at my body. Calling out for help will not do. It may be quite a risk, but the wise choice would be to head back to the entrance, rather than wait here until help arrives. Sounds like a good idea. So we're poisoned. And we don't have the means to really... It's not even poison. I think it's a special type of poison. So, really quick, there's no way to get around that. And yes, you can see we're taking damage. So we have to be very careful. Taking damage. We may also want to avoid some battles, too, by the way. However, we have enough vitality that we could... What the hell? We have enough vitality that we could fight a few. If it came to that. I'm doing the worst job of killing these blue things. We kind of want to get into a fight to recover lost HP at this point. Not again! I can understand if I were an intruder, but to impede someone who's trying to leave, I must have really been a rude guest. A boulder of this size probably would not budge from 1 or 2 bombs. Perhaps placing a number of bombs in succession may work. So like this. And boom goes the dynamite. I don't want to get into a fight. So, I'm not going to bother with this. You can fall off ledges like so, which will help us pretty much get back to where we came from. Kind of want to pick a fight. Probably do it through here. This will take us back to the near front of the area. Yeah, we need to pick a fight before we go too much further. Boom. Now we're not going to get fully healed, and you'll notice he took a lot of damage from fighting. So, you know, I don't want to have to do it, but you can see we got some good HP back from participating in said fight. My nuts! My guts! Good heavens! Are you alright? What a fever! What happened to you in there? I believe I have been afflicted by poison. If only I had been more careful. What about the monsters? It took to the sky and... Okay, understood. We'll take care of the rest, so... Hey, hang in there. You're gonna be alright. I don't trust this guy at all. He's gonna steal our wallet while we're trying to, you know... He's gonna steal our wallet. We'll be left nude in the desert tied to a cactus. Dong first. Okay. Memories. The exit is that way. Back in my day, I used to. Gotta love flashbacks that don't mean anything. Well, they do, but, you know. It's not a question of if. It's a question of when. That's what I was told when I took a dump the other day.
Oh, you're awake. Hold on a minute. I'll go make something.
Oh, God. She's probably going to frickin'... Never mind. I'm just going to keep it a little closer to PG-13. I'll stop there. I'm not going to give voice to every character, actually. So, here. This should warm you up. Wow, thank you. Wow, this is really something. What is it? Knocked your socks off, huh? Well, here's a hint. I made it out of marijuana. Antidotes. Ah, wrong voice. That's right. It's more potent than regular off-the-shelf. It's more potent than regular off-the-shelf antidote. We boiled it in a great cauldron. Well, I'm just glad that it had the effect I was hoping for. Now I know I can sell it to the customers. Or sell it to customers. Of course! I almost broke my back hauling you out of that cave when the monster got you. But all's well that ends well, right? Now we can get on with our lives. A monster in a cave. That's right, the monster! What became of it? What's that supposed to mean? You chased it away, didn't you? While you were recovering, the men grouped together and merged into the cave to look for the beast, but it was gone. All that they could find was its lair, deep in the bowels of the cavern. No trace of the monsters was found. And what did they do in the lair? Well, they torched it, of course. We didn't want that thing coming back, do we? They torched it? Yup. Now the monster's toast, right? All I did was hurt the monster and chased it from its cave. But inevitably it will want to nurse its wounds in the safety of its lair. If that's gone, then certainly it will come and take revenge on those who destroyed its home. Your village and all who live here are in danger. Where do you think you're going? You need more rest. I accepted this assignment. That's why I must see it through to its completion. I'd never forgive myself if I gave up on my clients. Very unprofessional. Then, here, take this. The monster's poisonous, right? I think it'll come in handy. And he gives us one antidote. I'm sure it will. Uh-oh, speak of the devil. The regrets of the past become chains, burdening you more and more with each step you take through the sands of time. Through knowledge of oneself, one can live without regret. I have you now. I like how he's just holding that giant rifle out like with one hand. All right, let's do it. It's murder time. Oh, man. Oh, Taco Bell burps. Oh, the worst. And that's a miss. So that's not going to be great. We'll take one more hit from the poison here, and we'll probably want to recover. So we're not hitting him at all. Even though he could really use it again. Wait a minute. Let me just try this really quick. He's missing us left and right here, so... Antidote. Even though he could just do it again. Look at him whiffing left and right. I love it. Okay, lock on. Could use Gatling, but we'll just use lock on. It's more trustworthy. And yes, you can cancel attack in mid-attack, but it's not a recommended thing to do all the time. And boom goes the dynamite. And we get an antidote back for our trouble. And there's the level. We have no vitality because we spant it all. Well, hot diggity dog. Clive aspired to be a bounty hunter and drifter. But he always earned more than just a reward. He gave his clients peace, and in return they gave him confidence. At times he might stop and rest his wings, but no drifter ever stopped drifting. Clive's next mission was to watch over an artifact on board the Transcontinental Railroad, but he wasn't alone. Opportunists were a dime a dozen. No one knew how many were on the train or where it was headed. After all, some journeys only start at the last stop. So, interestingly enough, we can now make a save. Let's go ahead and do that. And now we have another character selection. So, we're just getting started on our big Western adventure. And Clive is, we now know who that man is with the long rifle. His name is lovingly Clive. Interestingly enough, we've got a lot more Wild Arms 3 for you. So I want you guys to check out more episodes of this. I love this game, and I think you guys are going to love it too. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Check out my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/JackTartStudios. And when we come back, perhaps we'll find out who one of these other guys might be. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you guys next time.